So, it's been 4 long weeks since my last video, and it's fair to say a lot has changed. You finally got the sex change. What? No? Sorry, I just thought you meant I haven't decided yet on whether to do that, and maybe a future video. In a desperate bid to try and appease to another audience? In a desperate bid to appease to another audience. It could be a way to get more views, and you do like views. I do like views. You are a fan of getting views. I am a fan of getting views. Views. No, I am of course talking about the pandemic that we are currently a part of, but that doesn't mean we can't remain positive. You can start by liking the video. Supports the channel, you see. It helps a lot. Do it now. Not at the end. Like now. Support the channel. Positivity. Okay, so it's your boy here on the front line. It's fair to say that here in my fine Isle of Englandhamshire, shiznit has very much gotten real. Obviously, all of us are going through the same thing with this pandemic. I don't want to mention the word. Apparently, a lot of videos have been getting demonetized because of them, which is not why I do these videos, because I don't make any money on them. But, you know, a bit of censorship there. As for my worries of actually getting infected myself, I strongly actually believe I had it. I do think I'm actually one of the people who have had it back in February. In fact, I actually did a couple of videos at the time where I was actually sick, which you can probably view if you follow the links down in the description. I definitely had a heavy chest infection. I don't get sick, I never get ill, but I got a really heavy chest infection, which I assume was down to all the training that I was doing. I thought I wasn't giving myself enough time to recover, but looking back on it, I did have that very distinctive dry cough. And I do even remember at the time thinking that it felt a little bit different to anything else I'd had before. I know that's very, you know, maybe I'm trying to make something out of, you know, it's easy to look back and try and make something out of nothing. But yeah, I strongly suspect I have it. Although I haven't actually been tested. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. What is it, Doc? Is it serious? Well, I'm afraid it's worse than we thought. Just tell me straight, Doc. Well, Mr. Wright, I don't know how to tell you this. Yeah. But according to these test results, yeah, turns out you're a bit of a twat. Oh God, no. I'm sorry. Somehow I knew. I always knew. Terminal case by the looks of it. Alright mate, point made. There's obviously no denying that I do have concerns for other people, family members, etc. Whether it's as bad as it's being made out to be, I don't know, but you know, certainly don't want to take any chances. Me and my sister have decided that we're going to be staying away from the family for a little while, for certainly next 2 or 3 weeks, and you know, not bringing, you know, not going to see our parents because we don't want to get them ill, although they're pretty badass and they'd probably kick its ass anyway. But since I last did a video, quite a lot has changed, it's fair to say. The world is under the grip of this pandemic, and like many countries, the UK is now under, well, I say lockdown. There's certainly a lot of restrictions. It's not a full-on lockdown just yet, but there are definitely a lot of restrictions that are being put on people. You're allowed to go out once a day for exercise purposes, or to go to the shop, but only when essential, only when you really need to get something, or medical supplies. You have to stay 2 meters away from everybody. No public gatherings, no large gatherings, although that's not been the case whatsoever. People are allowed to go to work, but only if essential, and a hell of a lot of people are currently working from home. So yes, not in a proper full-on lockdown just yet, but I've got a feeling that things may change. The time I'm filming this is Sunday the 29th of March, and I think a lot of us are fully expecting that there's going to be even more measures taking place tomorrow, or a big announcement. So yeah, a lot of us are in lockdown, a lot of us are isolating, a lot of us are staying in, and it can be very difficult to try and remain positive through this time. It It can be very easy to go stir crazy. So what are you going to do with your time? Well, I'm just going to talk about it a bit, I suppose. Doing these videos is one thing. I think now more than ever, it's very important to remain in the now. I'm sure, like a lot of you, I've been trying to see the good side in all of this that's been going on. But, you know, there's definitely times where I've got a little anxious or got a little depressed because of it. You know, it is quite a weighty subject. Every time you turn on the TV, there's news about it. Everybody's talking about it. You look out the window, nobody's on the streets. You go out for a walk, there's a very heavy police presence around. You know, they're trying to stop people from unnecessary travel, which is fair enough, I suppose. You kind of realise how much of your freedom is being taken away and how much you take it for granted. So to not go into your head too much, I think, is one of the good things. I was actually listening to a bit of Black Sabbath the other day, Into the Void. And as I was listening to it, or should I say after I listened to that song, I realised that when I was listening to that song, I wasn't involved in any of this temporarily. You know what I mean? I was taken away from it. I was transported into that other universe of music, of Sabbath music, no less. And so for that little bit of time, everything was fine. Everything was good. It was not a problem. Now, I think that's the answer. You know, it's trying to keep busy, keep yourself occupied with things. I mean, let's be honest. Self-isolating or being indoors now is not the same as it would have been 20, 30 years ago. You got your Netflix, you got your YouTubes. There's some fine quality content on YouTube, let's not forget. You can work out at home. There's plenty of videos out online. A lot of the sort of fitness guys on YouTube have been putting out plenty of videos of ways to work out at home, whether you've got equipment or not. You know, at the moment you can still go out and do a bit of exercise every day for the time being, but as I said, that might change, so I'll definitely be looking into doing more workouts at home. Maybe I'll do a video on that one, who knows. And now's a good time to create as well, if you're an artist, in whatever sort of medium you choose to do, whether it be music or actual drawings, arts, or, you know, video production, whatever it may be. Now is the time to go ahead and do that, because people need creativity and something to focus on and to view more than anything else. So there's plenty of things to do, you know what I mean? Remain in the now. Get immersed in something. If you've been looking to lose weight, maybe now's a good time to do it. You can't go out. If you've been looking to stay away from alcohol, now's a good time to do it. All the pubs and clubs are closed. Everything's closed. Everything's closing down. Becoming like a ghost town. Forget this Orwellian dystopian scenario that we're currently in. There are some good things. There was actually something that Patton Oswalt, the comedian, put out the other day. He put a tweet. I'm not sure, it wasn't actually him, he retweeted something, but he was saying, or should I say the guy he was retweeting was saying, when you look out your window and you see all the empty streets, rather than seeing this negative end of the world type scenario, instead see love, because what you're actually seeing is a lot of people who are considering other people. They're staying in, they're isolating, they're getting away from everybody else because they don't want to get anybody else sick. So I thought that was quite a nice way to look at it, actually. It's, you know, there's actually a lot of people out there who consider other people. There are a lot who don't. It does have to be said, there has been quite a lot of selfish people. There's still lots of reports of people, you know, in mass gatherings, and when I have gone out running to get my exercise in, there are plenty of people who do not observe any kind of social distancing. I'm sure I've been guilty of it at times as well. You kind of, in weird ways, you do kind of forget about things. But yeah, there's definitely some people who could do with considering others a little more. As I say, remaining in the now, I think, is the important thing to get us through this, time, because there's a lot of fear out there. You can feel it sometimes. A few times where I've been into a store or a shop, you can see people are kind of suspicious of one another. People are wary of one another, which is understandable. I was in a shop a couple of days ago, and it was all very strange. Obviously everything was marked out. You had to remain away from each other, which is fine. I understand it. I would put my food in a basket at the front, then I would have to stand back. Then the cashier would step forward, do all the scanning. She would step back, I would step forward, pay, grab my stuff and go. And I remember at one point she almost went to cough. She clearly wasn't ill, but she just went to do a cough, and she immediately just, it was like some sort of Nazi weirdness. It was kind of crazy, you know. Everyone just immediately looked at her and she was just immediately apologizing. Oh God, no, I'm not infected. It was kind of, you know, it's just kind of, every now and then you can notice that fear going on. It's kind of a crazy time. But I'm reminded of an old expression, which is, depression is living in the past, anxiety is living in the future, peace is living in the present. So yes, being in the now, being in the present, that's the key. So yeah, keep your mind occupied with whatever interests you've got, rather than trying to dwell too much on what's going on. We obviously have to keep up to speed with the news, which is another reason I think that's one thing I don't like about this. A lot of times I don't actually watch the news because I think it's a great waste of time. It's just a great way of spreading fear and control, but you can't really avoid it in a situation like this because there are so many updates that affect everybody. You do have to kind of just keep abreast of what's going on. So I don't like it, but there you go. In terms of hoarding food, I have bought a little few extra bits and pieces, but not much. I have got toilet roll, 4 rolls. There's no need for any more than that. I'm a grown ass man. 4 rolls of toilet paper will last me a very long time. I don't know what you guys are doing out there where you need to stockpile that stuff. You got some serious issues, mate. Some health stuff going on. Other than that, I bought some healthier stuff. I've got some more protein powders. I've got plenty of oats and beans, Greek yogurt. Good source of protein, that. And some dried fruit, because you never know. But other than that, I've not really bought that much at all. It's like I've probably got about a week's worth of surplus stuff put away. And other than that, I'm going to try and just sort of live my life as I normally do, or as much as I can. Get my exercise in. I will say that's been a godsend. Being able to go out and do the running. That's definitely been a good thing. To keep one occupied, to keep one present. When that anxiety starts building, it's good to do that. As I said earlier, if that gets restricted, then I'll be working out more in the room anyway, so that's just how it goes. But let me know how things are going with you guys. Let me know how, because I know, a lot of people from all over the world watch this channel. So let me know how things are with you and how you're coping and how you intend to go forward. I'm not infected. There are definitely positives from it. I think, if nothing else, it's kind of made me, and I'm sure all of you, appreciate the freedoms that we do have and that we take for granted. It's kind of, you take food and money and shelter and family and friends, society, you take it all for granted. Your job, you just think it's going to be something that's always there. And although I'm totally positive that things will eventually get back to normal, it does kind of make you realise how pretty much overnight everything can just change. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to come out of this badly. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be negative about that, but there are going to be people who get ill. There are going to be people who go bankrupt. Businesses are going to go bankrupt. People are going to lose their jobs. So it can change just like that. So yeah, more than ever, appreciate the now, appreciate the moment, because it's made me appreciate my family a hell of a lot more, I'll tell you that. I'm kind of missing them at the moment. I haven't seen any of them now for a good week. Yeah, it does make you sort of realise how much you do just take certain things for granted, and that's not a good thing, really. You know what I mean? I don't know if I've got much more to say on the subject at this point. As things go forward, I might start doing a few more regular videos, maybe, every 3 or 4 days. Maybe I'll put out a video update, see how things go. And as I'm saying, I'm fully expecting things to change yet again tomorrow in terms of more stricter measures. And if you guys have got anything that you'd like to see or like to ask, or sort of video, suggestions for me, then by all means leave a comment. But more than anything, let me know how you guys are doing, how things are where you are, and speak to each other in the comments. Make sure that you actually check in on how somebody else is doing. You talking to someone in the comments, that could make somebody else's day as well. Check in on somebody else, check in on how they're doing. And if you do want to support the channel, as I said at the beginning, make sure that you like this video, because it really does help boost these videos. And share it if you really do like it and you like these videos. Share it, maybe somebody else will get something out of it. But yeah, I think that'll do for today. Like I said, I would like to be able to do a few more regular videos from now on, and if I'm going to be at home a lot more, not really any excuse for me not to do them. So let me know what you want to see. Oh God, why did I do that?